Build the God Squad you've always wanted. InstantMuttCoins.com. Instant delivery, cheapest prices, 24/7 support. Use code CC, 15% off. EA tax 10% is covered. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are here. There's a gameplay deep dive today, and I want to go through it in CC detail for you. Now, a lot of you guys, you come to the channel, you see me as like a mutt guy, but I was a gameplay guy to start. Very, very deep into gameplay, very, very heavily involved in breaking down the game, seeing what works, what doesn't. That's how the whole Madden turf thing came about. And you guys talk about cheese. It's not that sort of thing. But what I want to do is go over some key stuff that was covered, and I want to show you some stuff in Madden 19 very much related to it. So one of the big things that they talked about, we're going to go through the list here and then some extra points at the end. They talked about playbooks. They mentioned a couple key things about the playbooks. The main thing that I really took away was that the air raid offense is coming to Arizona through Cliff Kingsbury, which is awesome. How they designed that, how effective it is. We'll see Arizona already operated out of a spread. They had spread formations and stuff, so it'll be interesting to see. But it's at least exciting to know that they went that route. One thing they didn't mention, playbook-wise, was bringing back a lot of things that they take out of the game. Madden has a terrible habit. Instead of fixing things, they remove things. So many formations in the past have just been removed. So many plays have been removed. No mention of that. I really, really, really hope they do that, because that is what... It doesn't extend the possibilities necessarily, or the creativity, but what it may do is potentially create a different meta, at least something that the casual player is not used to seeing. And if there's a couple really good formations, maybe like the nickel psycho comes back, nickel strong, dime flat, stuff like that, if they added new coverage shells into existing formations or brought new plays back in, how we used to have flanker screens where you could actually audible and do stuff, where you could audible on screens, you could make makeshift screens, PA end around you could do audibles with. They would just take it out. No mention of that whatsoever. Really disappointing to me, in my opinion. And then a lot of the focus here was on RPOs. A lot of the focus was on RPOs. I'm going to show you guys something that bothers me with RPOs. They're not all that different. Anything that's super crazy, in my opinion, it's going to work one of two ways. One, they're going to be OP. Two, they're going to be broken. So you see on the screen, a peak play is what your typical RPO really sounds like. The way you think of it in the NFL, where it's a run pass option. That's what RPO stands for. So those are plays where you can decide at the hike of the ball whether you want to run the ball or pass the ball, right? The actual read plays are more about runs or screens. So there's still something there. You know, we have orbit screens, we have orbit inside zone, orbit bubble screens already. In the game, you don't get that selection, so it's at least somewhat new. And then these alert plays, which it's you think of it as an extra audible. You have to make the decision at the line of scrimmage whether you want to run or pass. You don't get to do it post snap. It's going to depend on how you can hot route from these, if it's a really good thing or not. It doesn't feel like much, in my opinion. But one big thing about RPOs specifically is the peak looks, right? I believe that's what it's called there, is a peak. So I want to show you guys something here and why I feel like RPOs, unless blocking changes, isn't going to matter so much. So we see here, if this was a run pass option, right, if this was an RPO, say there would be a handoff to the running back, or maybe a slant or something to Deshaun Jackson, Humphreys, whatever it might be. The idea with it is that the player right here is going to be vacating his zone to shoot and either stop the run or play the slant. Some of the problem that Madden has is that the best way to blow up inside zones is from the backside. You can do it pretty well from a lot of things. You really, really can. You can obviously blow it up from the front side as well, if you really want to. But there's normally holes and gaps that people find out, that people create, quote-unquote, run defense, right? So if the pass is locked up and the run is locked up, it's fine because you're not taking away something on there. Now, if the RPO happened to be to a backside slant, let's see if we can find something here that would have a backside slant with it. Gun doubles would be a good example, right? So let's say that there's a backside slant to Deshaun Jackson here, right? So the idea is they have to decide to run the ball. And if I come down here and I think they're going to run, but then there's only a slant, I still have plenty of time to shoot right out here. So I'm going to be effectively guarding the entire play by myself. It's just, hopefully the mechanics do work a little differently than that. Let's hope. Let's go back to this, this here. Neat stuff. If you guys want to read what they wrote about it, go watch the stream back. I mean, have at it. They talked about new jet sweep plays. Again, this not the newest thing in the world, in my opinion, at all. Cool, maybe useful, probably not. We have lots of plays already in the game which were jet sweeps. Let's see if I can find something here to show you guys with the playbook I happen to be in. They might not have many, really. I don't think Minnesota really does have any. They do in Wildcat. So let's just talk about that, right? We get to the Philly special. You guys see that, right? You see what the Philly special is. It's something people wanted, man. They really did. And I'm going to show you a play in this year's game right here called PA Jet Cross out of Wildcat trips over. It's the same thing, right? The quarterback is just already out. It's just, he's already out. It's the same concept, same idea. The advantage Wildcat has is that you could say put your quarterback in as a quarterback there, and you could actually sort of do stuff with it. Can't really audible too much. They did mention that the Philly special, anywhere you can run it, is going to have a sort of a mini scheme with it. So there'll probably be like run plays and stuff like that. But I tell you what, it looks like Wildcat an awful lot, and it really is. It really is. Trick plays are not traditionally going to be great plays in Madden consistently. Run it at certain times, they can be very effective. So we'll see how it goes, but it's not a new concept in the game. We can call it whatever we want. This is another one of those examples, in my opinion, where EA is introducing something as new, and it's not new, if that makes sense. And then the biggest other things that they actually talked about were some of the gameplay changes. They're getting rid of aggressive or passive pass rush as a coaching adjustment. Check. Talked about route chemistries and abilities. There's a possible one with field generals, pocket passers, where they can have a hot route ability for everyone on the field, so you don't need that, and which is really a strong ability to have. It still may not create you from, not using a mobile quarterback, and the depth and the way this will work is going to really depend on archetypes and which quarterbacks can get archetypes, how the game goes. It's going to be interesting. There was also a mention of running backwards in the pocket, passing the ball, your icons are going to go away. We heard this before. Yes, we've heard this before. They said now there's more of a penalty. Your icons disappear. That sounds phenomenal. But I didn't hear a damn thing about the fact that you don't actually have to pass the ball to the line of scrimmage when you throw it away to be a penalty. Is it that hard to do? Apparently it is, to just put a rule in the game that exists in the NFL. Why is that not a thing? I would say on at least 30 to 40% of times when people run back and throw the ball away, the ball does not get back to the line of scrimmage. People still throw the ball, but now people are throwing the ball away more. It's no penalty if you can still run backwards and just throw the ball away. If you can't get the ball back to the line of scrimmage, you should get a penalty for it. More of a deterrent. Please, please, please. They mentioned animations was running. We heard the same thing last year. This is great. We'll see how it is, right? There's so much they can say, and they can even show us. But until we get our hands on the game, it's no way to know. There's nothing I can say. I haven't played the game. I don't know if this is going to be great, bad, terrible, amazing, best thing in the world. You know? Move over, slice bread. Locomotion's back and better than ever. Maybe. But overall, I came away neutral with the stream. There's a lot of information I wanted to hear and I didn't hear. The trick plays, they don't truly interest me. I think it's what I believe Rex would call a back-of-the-box feature. Sounds cool, but it's not truly effective. I feel like they really limit what the playbook guy does. He's a smart guy, man, and I feel like he really, really gets limited. They mentioned again they're going to try to update playbooks. We heard that last year. Apparently they didn't have time, but when they put out a formation that was broken and then everyone went back and fixed it, so you understand why we don't really have a lot of faith in the things you say. I can tell you I'm going to be there at 8 and be late every damn day, and you don't have to believe me. And maybe one day I'll be on time. Maybe I will. But all in all, I'm still intrigued by the game. I'm excited for the game regardless. It's new. I'm not a fan of Madden 19 by any stretch. It's not the worst Madden ever, in my opinion. It's bad, but it's not the worst. You know, they also mentioned the shed defenses. Not that it's gone, that they're tweaking it and how it works. Can we just not allow the instant pass rush wins if you crash out? Can you just not take that away? Make it very small percentage chance? Because you got to imagine that with the NFL sack record for 16 games, and these are blocked players, right? So if you're sending blitzes in Madden, people aren't blocked. Those numbers get very, very skewed. So I don't think you can compare that to the NFL at all. But from an actual pass rush perspective, 1-on-1, 2-on-1, a Khalil Mack fighting against someone, Strahan when he put up, over 20 sacks. He was on the field for 500, 600 plays, maybe more. Who knows? I'm just throwing out a number, so it's probably wrong. Don't get mad. And the best you could do is a win every 25 to 30 snaps. Really? A sack? And in Madden, it's 1 out of every 4. If you crash out. If you crash down, it doesn't work. It's stupid. But I'm going to go in with a clean slate. I'm going to go in with a positive attitude until we play the game and we see how it goes. And I think that's fair. I think everyone should do that. A lot of people say, I don't want to play Madden next year. I'm not going to get Madden 20. The best thing I can recommend for you is if you don't want to play it, I don't think anyone's can force you to play it. But if you're on the borderline, EA Access does exist. And it's going to exist for Xbox and it's going to exist for PlayStation. And you can go in and you can do the trial of EA Access. Try your 10 hours of Madden 20 when it comes out. And if you don't like it, cancel EA Access, because they don't bill you for the first month. At that point anyway, you can just cancel it for free. Like, it's fine. Just make sure you know your information. So that is what I got. Neutral. I gotta find the button to stop this thing. I know you guys, CC didn't edit the video. I didn't. There's nothing to edit because I know what I'm talking about. Facts. But I mean, if you guys are excited, let me know. You should be excited. I'm okay. Excitement doesn't mean that you aren't gonna be let down. You may be let down even if you're not excited for the game. But go in neutral, like I am. While I'm excited to play the game, I have no expectations of it being a good game. So if it is a good game, I'm surprised. I'm happy. If it sucks, I told you so. I'm out.